Alright guys, so before I jump into today's video and give you guys my opinion on the topic at hand, let me just say this real quick. Season 10 to me has been the most fun season Respawn has dropped since maybe season 7, even maybe season 3. The gameplay for some reason in this season just feels fun, right? So I'm not complaining right now about Apex. I feel like Apex is in a great state. Whenever I make any kind of critical videos about this game, I always have that one comment saying, Kijana, bro, stop being so negative, stop being so toxic. Why do you always talk trash about Apex? Guys, relax. I'm not talking trash about Apex. I'm just making content and giving you guys my opinion on a topic which just so happens to be very controversial right now. So with that said, everybody calm down, everybody relax. We're gonna be talking about solos, right? Solos has been one of the biggest topics, I would say, since I began playing Apex and making Apex videos, because out of every single battle royale game out right now, Apex seems to be the only one without a solos mode, which is, in my opinion, dumb. But I'll talk more about that as the video goes on, right? I'll talk more about that. Before I give you guys my opinion on solos in Apex and, the whole topic at hand and how solos even came up again, right? I want you guys to do me one favor. First of all, if you want to see solos in Apex, if you wouldn't mind seeing solos in Apex, send a message to Respawn and hit that like button right now. Also, when you actually hit the like button, comment down below why you want to see solos in Apex and why you think Apex needs to have solos. If you're watching this video, do that right now. Drop a like if you want to see solos and comment why you want to see solos, because for some reason Respawn thinks that solos will destroy Apex and I believe otherwise. I'll tell you guys why as the video goes on, but if you want to see solos in Apex, real quick, drop a like on the video and comment why. Alright, so that said, let's talk about how this conversation even came about. Josh Medina, who is a producer at Respawn, we all know Josh. Josh is kind of like, one of the favorite devs, I would say, from Respawn. He's always really active on Twitter and stuff. He's always engaging with the community. So everyone loves Josh, right? Everyone loves Josh. I don't love Josh's opinion though on solos in this game. So Macro Guys, who is obviously a very big Apex content creator on YouTube and Twitch, he basically tweeted out this, right? Apex could borrow a couple cool ideas from Warzone. 1. A gulag. 2. Buying back your teammates. And 3. Solo mode. Now of course this post got a lot of attention because I feel like so many people in Apex, especially people who solo queue already, would like to see solos in Apex. I mean, you guys could remember back in season 8 when there was a glitch that basically allowed you to only play solo queue. Like you couldn't even, even if you had like no fill disabled, you would still solo queue. And that glitch was there for like 2 seasons. So basically Respawn already had solos. It just wasn't intentional. And it was there for like 2 whole seasons, which to me is insane. But I digress. So when Macro made that tweet, Josh Medina, as I just said, a producer at Respawn, replied and said this: I don't know about solos. Now everyone basically saw this and everyone was like just trying to explain to Josh why Apex does actually need solos and how Apex could benefit from solos. So before I give you guys my opinion, because I have a very strong stance on this, let's just take a look at what some content creators had to say. First up, we have Staycation, who basically just posted a gif or a gif of someone banging their head against a wall in frustration. I feel that was my exact response internally after seeing this tweet. Then we have Robo Hobo Productions, who is a YouTube streamer for Apex, and he said, I don't know about your reasoning behind no solos. I agree. Then we have Faith, who is a Twitch streamer, who said, solos is fine if you only pair other solo players together in a lobby. It's not fair I solo queue pubs and get matched with Jimmy and John who don't know how to play Apex. Meanwhile, we're meant to successfully fight pre-made triple stack with 20 kill 4K badges who are on comms. Preach, preach, preach. This is exactly how the Apex matchmaking works right now, guys. I could be solo queuing and my enemies in duos or in trios are stacked squads. Their name is like TSM, Sweaty Rate, TSM, Lobus Cheeks, and TSM, Buff Watson. Like, that's just not fair. No matter how good I am, I'm gonna have a very tough time fighting that team. And even if I do win that team, there's always another team trying to third party. So like, it's just kind of difficult. And guys, there were so many more tweets, so many more responses, so many just conversations around having solos in Apex, right? And my stance is very firm. I believe that Apex needs to have solos for one very simple reason, right? And here's the reason. It gives players an option. If you don't want to play solos in Apex, don't play it. Like, Apex having solos isn't gonna affect players, because if you don't want to play solos, you don't have to play it. And there's also an argument going around about, but if we have solos and we'll have less players in ranked and less players in trios and less players in arenas. That's a dumb argument too. Do you guys know how much players play Apex on a daily basis? Like, a new game mode is not gonna really impact your ability to find matches. It just doesn't make sense. Back in the day, COD had like 15 game modes, and obviously we could find a match in almost every one of those game modes in the game's prime. So if your argument is basically saying that solos will make it harder for me to find a match in trios or duos or ranked or arenas, it's a dumb argument. Apex has more than enough players to get you into a game. Trust me. There's also an argument saying, well, Apex isn't built for solos. You know, like every legend is not going to be great in solos. Like, for example, if someone has Horizon or Wraith and I have, I don't know, Watson or Lifeline, I'm going to be useless in solos. I would say, okay, that's kind of a fair argument. Don't use those legends. You know, use somebody else. Because it's your decision to want to use those legends. Just like how certain legends, I would say, are useless in arenas, some legends are going to be useless in solos, and that's fine. Not every legend is going to be equally balanced in every single scenario in this game, and that's fine. I would say once every 3 matches, or even every other match, guys, I'm solo queuing already because my teammates die of drop, they leave, and I'm left to fend for myself. And what if I'm using Lifeline? What if I'm using Watson, you know? It's the same thing. I'm still having no teammates. I'm kind of useless already. So for you guys who say how solos isn't built for Apex, if you actually solo queue in Apex, you would realize that we're basically playing solos already because there's no reason, in pubs at least, for players to stay after they die. And most teammates, especially you have drop, will just leave and you're left to fend by yourself. So again, that argument doesn't make sense. Another reason why I think Respawn doesn't make sense when they say they want to kind of, you know, make solos balance for every single legend and Apex isn't a solo based game is because Respawn said that they're going to be introducing some legends in the future that aren't really good in arenas. Respawn said that. Let me actually say that again. Respawn has come out and said that they're going to be releasing legends in the future that might not be useful at all in arenas. Well, if that's the case, why can't we just have solos then? And I feel like it's difficult in a game like Apex to make every legend good in every single mode, in every single situation and scenario. It's tough. It's tough on the devs. But this is where I'm actually interested, because if Respawn is saying that they don't mind making a legend in arenas useless, right? Then why are they saying that every legend needs to be useful in solos, and that's why we can't have solos in Apex?
This
isn't it the same principle? Like every legend isn't going to be good in solos, so it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like the main reason why Respawn doesn't have solos is because of their current matchmaking system. I'm gonna try to explain this as simply as possible, right? So when casual players, or should I say not so good players in Apex, paired up with good players, so let's say we have a 5 KD player and 2 0.7 KD players, right? Because believe it or not, guys, that happens often in Apex. When the 5 KD player carries the team and maybe even carries them to a dub or just a very high placement, the casual players feel kind of, you know, they feel good, they feel empowered, they want to play more games. Even if they played like trash, and even if they didn't do anything for the game at all, just because they placed higher and just because they kind of feel like they did something, they're going to want to play Apex more. And we all know by now that Respawn, as well as EA, as well as basically every single gaming company out there right now, wants to keep players engaged for long as possible, because that increases the chance of these players spending money on the game, which is what these game companies want. So if Respawn were to introduce solos into Apex, right, these casual players will have no other teammates to lean on. So if they die off drop every single game, if they can't get any kills, if they can't get any dubs, they're gonna feel a lot more demotivated to play this game because they have no one to lean on and they have no one to help them up. They have no one to carry them, basically. It's all on them. So they might just feel less inclined to play Apex. They might hop off, they might stop playing altogether because they think they're trash. And this isn't just for casual players, because when I play Apex sometimes, right, and I am just having a bad day, I can't get any dubs, I'm dying off drop and stuff, I hop off as well. So every single player wants to do good and everyone gets demotivated when they're playing like trash. But if it's in solos, those casuals have a reason to hop off now, because it's all on them. They have no one to even help them get that dub. That's why I think Respawn doesn't want to drop solos. That's honestly the main reason, because the arguments about Apex not having enough players doesn't make sense. The arguments about every legend not being fit for solos doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to make sense out of nonsense right now, and that's my logic. That's my whole thesis, my theory behind why Respawn and why Josh. Hi Josh, how you doing, bro? Why Josh doesn't want to have solos in Apex? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you guys think I'm making this shit up? Or do you guys think it's actually, it might be true. It could very well be true. Leave your thoughts down below. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed as always. Sorry for my kind of like rant on solos, but I had to make this video. Drop a like, sub if you're new, and I'll see you guys in some more Apex. Till next time.